Good morning, everybody. It's Sunday morning. Welcome back to our Maine homestead. The boys are out working on trenching some areas for drain tiles, drain pipes, porch and deck piers, things like that. So not sure if I'm going to be able to grab Eddie to do kind of our usual intro with goals for this week, but I think the gist of our goals is just to get, to build with our own two hands. So that's our goal, start building this week. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, the guys went to lunch, so I was able to grab Eddie. I kind of shared with him what I talked to you guys about already, but take it away with what you guys have done this morning and then whatever your opinion is on our goals for this week.
Okay. Yep, new week. We've already gotten the drain tile pitched and buried, stoned in and buried all the way to daylight, which goes just into our pasture. And we've got 2 trenches dug where Francesca and I are going to form up piers for the front porch and the back porch, and that's going to be tied into the end decks that are actually part of the house but covered by the roof of the house, but built on the end of the house, and all of that's going to connect. The first floor is going to connect. So yeah, all that's really left to do for the concrete guys is to place the 3 piers for the porch, get those plumb and in the right spot, or the decks, sorry. And then once they're out of here, we can start building, which probably won't be for a day or 2, but
yeah, I have to take Emery down south to southern Maine for a medical appointment, and so we might be back Monday afternoon, but it might be Tuesday lunchtime, early afternoon, something like that. So
I've got plenty I can do, but yeah, we can. So next steps, hopefully this week we get the post and beams in for the basement and the decks that are on the end of the house. Don't know if we'll get all the piers for them, but that's what we're going to start working on. We got to get those placed, leveled, and backfilled some to stabilize them. We're going to use sonotubes that are going to be rebarred into big round 18-inch round concrete bases that we already have that our cabin was sitting on. So we're going to get all those in position on top of stone, maybe some foam board just to be sure we don't get any freezing, and then we'll be ready to pour those, and from there we can finish putting the beams. Hopefully we're starting to cut wood and start building in a day or 2. We'll see.
Fingers crossed. All right, high five again. Let's go.
So it's only Monday, and here we go again. This crew was going to actually work through the weekend and kind of finish up the concrete part of things, so we were ready to build. Let me show you what went on. So this is the end of the house, the right end if you're looking at the front of the house. So he dug a trench. That's where 3 piers are going to go, 3 pillars, so that we can build decks out onto the end of the house. The house will actually be contained, insulated, where on top of where the basement foundation walls come up, and then 10 feet out we're going to have a 10-foot decks for the first floor, the second floor, and it also has to support the roof. And this has been discussed many times, but before they can place these piers, there needs to be a footer poured in this hole that was just dug yesterday. We've had this conversation several times, but somewhere something got dropped, ball got dropped or whatever, and anyway, that was missed. But I'll show you what the plan yesterday was until we kind of had to stop it. So like I said, the deck is going to support the first floor, the second floor deck that'll come off the master bedroom, and then the roof, which we have a significant snow load in northern Maine. So, you know, it's heavy, and it gets heavier in the wintertime. And what was about to be done was to place these 18-inch diameter by about 3.5-inch concrete rounds in the trench that was dug, and then place these piers, which are only 6 by 6 on the top, and I'm building with 8 by 8 posts. But these piers were going to be placed on the top of that, and that was supposedly going to support basically our house, that end of our house, which is nowhere near sufficient enough. So I kind of got them to stop and had to talk to the concrete guy, who's very knowledgeable, but he's not the one in charge. And so then I had to talk to my contractor and find out what the plan was, because this is definitely not going to work. So now, what did we come up with? So I'm standing right near the end of the house where the decks are going to be. Here's the trench, and there needs to be a significant footer similar to the footer that went around the entire perimeter of the basement walls, that the basement walls sit on, to support the house, the structure that's going to be built above it, which again is 2 floors and a roof. So there needs to be a significant footer here. So now the plan, another delay of course, now the plan is this is going to be poured later on this week. I'll explain that, but once it's poured, then we can place columns, which will probably be placed at the same time it's poured and anchored to the footing, and then we'll be ready to place our beams and posts that are part of our deck system, that will be tied to the house here. There will be beams that run from this top plate out to the tops of these posts, 3 of them, that mimic, you know, that kind of are in line with the ones that are on the inside of the house. Anyway, long story short, yeah, that didn't happen yesterday. It's only Monday though. Maybe we'll get it done this week. Let me show you what else we kind of changed and decided to go with. Since everything else has been so delayed, we've decided to kind of make a little change in our schedule so that we can do something we weren't going to plan on doing till next year. We can go ahead and do it now. So yeah, these rounds will only support, there'll be sonotube columns, 12-inch sonotube columns, and then there'll be 8 by 8 posts on top of these. They're not placed in line yet. I've just been drilling holes to place rebar and down in the center, and then I will get them leveled and where they need to be, you know, distance from the house. These will be the footings for and piers for our front porch. They're 4 feet. This trench is 4 feet deep, so we're at or below the frost line here. But yeah, we weren't going to plan on building porches because we thought this would be done, you know, a month and a half ago. And so we were just going to build porches probably next spring, next summer. But since this has taken so long and they're here, and we might as well go ahead, and decided we'd go ahead and build porches. So there's this trench, and there's one that matches it in the back. It's going to be a back porch. So basically when we're done, we'll have a front porch, these 2 side decks, which are 2 stories. This porch will just be 1 story with a shed type roof, you know, one angled roof, and then a matching one in the back. So it'll create a 3-sided wraparound porch on the first level, and then with an upper deck on the second level that's covered by the same roof that covers the house. So this is part of the back, what will be the piers for the back porch. Yeah, so what I think I've worked out, we'll see. I'm going to go ahead and get these drilled, ready for the sonotubes, get them the right distance from the house, you know, square and level, ready for concrete to be poured. So when they pour the trench, which is over there, then we can pour these at the same time. And that will mean we've got really everything done, you know, foundation wise, pier wise, for all the porches. And we'll see when the porches actually get built, but this will give us a really good head start on building porches. It's going to slow us down. It's going to take a little extra time to do this versus starting to build, which we're a little pressed already, but we've decided we're going to be pushing to get it closed in before winter. So why not go ahead and get this done? Then we don't have to have someone else out here next year working to get this done. We'll just go ahead and jump on it. So Francesca had to take Emery to Portland this morning for an evaluation, something to do with speech therapy. But anyway, so I've just been kind of trying to do as much as I can by myself here. So I've been drilling the center of those concrete rounds, and I'll just show you real quick what I'm doing. So I got this one already started, but all I've done, they're 18 inches in diameter roughly. So all I've done is measure across and find 9 and find the center. And then I'm just drilling it to a depth that the rebar will kind of stay in there at a little over halfway. I'll drill it a little more, and then I'm carrying them over and getting them just in the hole close to where they go. And then I'm going to start working on leveling them.
Good catch.
Back your way. Let's get out of here.
Not too shabby.
Come on, Libby. Come on.
Good girl.
So we're setting the post for our front porch. We're setting the rounds where the posts are actually going to be. And the hole got a little deep on this end based on where we want final grade to be. So I added some dirt down here, and now I'm going to throw down some gravel and level the gravel first. That seems to be the key to getting the round easily leveled. But throw down some gravel, level it by screeding it basically, I guess that's what you call it, and then place the round and check level.
trying to get this drain pipe connected and run into the house.
We're not trying, we're doing it.
And so we are just kind of dry fitting some connections to get it lined up correctly, and then we are cementing the PVC together and getting it solid, and yeah.
All I was trying to do is get it to line up with the damn hole.
That's what I'm saying.
No, height, up and down height has zero to do with it lining up in that hole. That's what I've been trying to say.
Okay, cool. Something, like I said, something you got it figured out. So good deal.
But the angle may matter. Hell, I don't know.
Well, we'll find out.
We're not putting it on there like that yet, though. I mean, we're not. That's if it's an angle, it's very slightly angled.
Okay. So we got the drain pipe all connected, glued, cemented, whatever you want to call it, and now Eddie is going to backfill a little bit, then we're going to cover it with some foam board insulation and then backfill it all the way. Hey you, do you need some more snacks? Is that sun in your eyes? A little bit more cereal. Yummy. Go. Is that better? Is that better? So Eddie might be able to explain it a little bit better, but the reason that I'm squeegeeing down here right now is because, unfortunately, we can't get a good team out here to do some concrete. So anyways, the grade is not exactly what it's supposed to be, sloping down to the drain for the water to drain naturally. So on the opposite side of the basement, we have a low spot where the water's accumulating. So when we flooded the basement to water cure the concrete, we left it there for a few days and then opened up the drain, and of course it didn't drain out. So that's why I'm squeegeeing now. So I don't know if it's just what to expect when you're building a house, things like this to happen, or if it's just hard to find good help and the professionals don't do quite a professional job. I don't know. What do I know? This is my first time building a house.
And he bakes such a big girl. So we're ready to mark the spot where our 2 basement posts will be centered. We're going to mark the spot, then we're going to drill into the floor and then epoxy some rebar down in there, and then we'll drill a hole in the bottom of the post and slide the post down onto the rebar, and that'll hold it in place. But what we're doing is trying to find exactly the center of where the 2 beam pockets are, and the same distance, the right distance from the outer wall as well, so that it's exactly centered where it should be. So we're using our handy plumb bob, and we've got a string from the center of each beam pocket across the basement. That's, I think you can see it. So
it's a little bright out here, and we've already marked center on the line as well.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, so we measured across from each side and made sure that we had center on this line. We took a marker and marked that spot, and so now Francesca's gonna hold the plumb bob from up there. You have to get it very still and steady, and then you'll have it just an inch or quarter inch from the floor, and then you'll be able to tell exactly where center is directly straight down from that spot.
And then of course, because you want to measure 3 times and only mark once, we've already measured like from our spot on the line to be sure that it is center with the beam pockets, and then also to the end here to make sure that it's measuring correctly from end to post as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
That just helps us have a square, well, as square as it's going to be house when we're done. But these posts are extremely important because they are going to support the first floor and the second floor, and potentially rafters straight directly above that. So help support the rafters.
All right.
All right. They're right there. All right, good deal.
Good work, Bob.
Just trying to clean out the hole.
All right, so that wraps up another week of getting a little bit of progress done on the house. So as you can see, or as you saw before, the floor got water cured, but it doesn't drain properly, so
of course
there's not a whole lot that we can do about it right now. If it becomes an issue in the future, I guess we'll just have to address that sump pump or who knows what in the future, but hopefully we don't have to cross that bridge.
Yeah, once we get it closed in, obviously then there's no more rain in there, so hopefully there's no groundwater, and then we don't have a water issue. If we ever need to run water down there, like with our pressure tank or working on the water system or whatever, the drain seems to be draining to the outside from the inside. It's just the drain is the highest point in the floor where it should be the lowest. So go figure.
It is what it is. But yeah, so other than that, we got some stairs done into the basement, so it'll be easier for access in and out of the basement. We got all the porch pier rounds set up and leveled and put where they're supposed to go. So hopefully this week coming up, we're going to be pouring some porch and deck, well, porch piers, a deck, footer, and wall to help support the end of the house where the 2 decks and then the roofing is going to be. And then hopefully we're going to get all of our outside help out of here, and it's just going to be me and Eddie. I'm really looking forward to just me and him building.
Yeah, right now we can't really get to the house very well because we've got 3 trenches on 3 sides, front, back, and the end. So the only access point is on one end, but we're still going to try to reach and get the 2 basement posts down inside the basement and go ahead and set those. We drilled holes for the rods that are going to be epoxied in, and so now all we have to do is get the post down there, and of course get the post cut to length and all of that. But so
hopefully we can do that before a whole lot of stuff's going on that's going to take a few days with the porch and deck things. But yeah, so hopefully we're going to get to build soon, and I can't wait to share that with you guys, because I feel like we're gonna,
I can't wait to
get going,
get it over with,
and less headache. So But I feel like a headache is just kind of par for the course for building a house. So
Oh yeah.
we're no
It's not
different than
easy.
anybody else.
Nope.
All right, we'll see you guys next time. Thanks.